All right, welcome back. You're watching Morning Cafe, and right about now we want to talk about leveraging technology for SME growth. Now, digital transformation for SME is a conversation that we've had right here time and time again, and this morning we want to get practical with Patrick Lukusen. Patrick is the Managing Director of Odo Kenya, and Patrick, you'll be helping us, you'll break down for us why many businesses, SMEs, hesitate to go digital, the barriers that they are facing in terms of just going digital with their businesses. But I want us to, first of all, just start with a little bit of introduction.
Sure.
Odo, you said you can pronounce it anyhow, whichever way you want. Is it Odo or Odo?
It is Odu, but frankly speaking, you can pronounce it as you wish, and which is good, actually. If you speak any other language, I know my friend in Spain will say Odo, so it's really as you wish, but we used to pronounce it Odu.
Yeah. So what is it about?
So Odu is an ERP. An ERP is a suite of business applications that you can use to run any aspect of your company. It ranges from HR applications, for example, to manage your payroll, stock management, accounting, you name it. So I like saying that for any department in your company, we have an application to help you run that in a smooth way.
Yeah. So for SMEs, for instance, now, how do you come in exactly? How do you help them now leverage tech for their businesses to ensure that they are now growing in terms of seeing sales, produce, return on investment? How do you now come in?
So I think you just cited the right name, which is growing. So we have plenty of companies which have great products, great services. They do a lot of activities, transactions, but at some point they can meet with a bottleneck. So where we step in is to help them work in an efficient way by digitizing all of their operations. You can go in a company, for example, in Islay or whichever part of the city. You can find people who are working with a pen and paper, or just using the traditional Excel file. And these tools do not scale. If you are not at the office, it's difficult to connect to it. If you have different outlets, it's different to know what is going on in all of these different shops. So where we step in is we provide them with digital tools to analyze their stock in real time, to give approvals. For example, a cashier can initiate a transaction, but the manager will come and validate it just with a click of a button. Yeah. You can do so from a computer, but also on your smartphone. So we give that power of working in an efficient way to all companies, small and big.
You know, they say that SMEs are the backbone of a country's economy, but from where you sit, what's the real picture? We see not so many SMEs tapping into digital, digitizing their businesses. So what's the real picture?
First, it's true, the SMEs really make the core of the economy. I think we only have a few companies of the size of Safaricom and so on, not only in Kenya, but worldwide. So those companies are usually under-equipped. And the challenges that they're facing is mostly to be aware that they can get access to these kind of tools at an affordable rate. So one of the biggest challenges we face is to educate people as to the benefits of going digital, as to how to operate with this tool, and I believe we can talk about it. And when we talk about tech, it can be very broad. If I give a few examples, here in Kenya, a lot of people are running with M-Pesa. So you can use M-Pesa for anything that is transaction. People buy and sell over WhatsApp. So that is already tech, which is very popular. But when we go to things which can bring even more value addition, there we see only a few people that dare to go digital because they are afraid. Am I going to be able to use this? Is my team going to be capable of operating with this tool? Sometimes you have funny things like people saying, okay, can I use this tool and not be under the radar of the taxman, for example? Those are just, I would say, some concerns of companies.
Now that you've touched on something about being on the tax radar, you know, there is this concern with the majority of SMEs. Some believe that digital solutions are expensive.
Yes.
Now, others also believe that this exposes them to tax scrutiny. There's also a lack of awareness about affordable and user-friendly solutions for these SMEs. Now, how do you address that as Odu?
First, for the affordability of it, we provide a tool that is very powerful, that is also scalable, which means you can start with only what you need and then add the other bricks only when you need them and pay only at that point in time. So it's very scalable. You don't need to buy the whole package today, out of which you're using only 10%. On top, the other point that is very important is to be able to operate with it without an excessive amount of training that is required. So we make the tool very user-friendly. When you look at it, it looks like your smartphone. You see some small icons. Every icon is an application. So everyone almost who has a smartphone can understand how to operate it. You want to create a sales order, you know, I need to click on the sales application and so on. When it comes to the taxman, and the point we're discussing here is, okay, am I going to be paying more taxes? Yeah. We want to look at it differently. Because what is important for a company is not to expense less, it is to generate more business. So the tool we are giving you is to allow you to work in an efficient way, to scale your business, to generate more revenue, and then to pay your fair share of the burden. As you say, the taxman says, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee, which is good for the economy. It will be an expense today, but it is an investment in the infrastructure, into the ease of doing business. And this is what is making Kenya today the economic powerhouse of the East African, if you can say, community.
So Odoo, is it a portal? Is it a link? Is it a USSD code? What is it exactly?
It is a link, it is a portal. So you can just go on odoo.com and you'll be able to create your account without having to key in a lot of information. No credit cards, just your email, the name of your company. As soon as you create an account, you can use it on a smartphone, on a tab, on a laptop, and you have the same features from any device that you use.
Maybe you can talk to us about consequences that are there for now these SMEs that are refusing technology adoption.
I believe it's the same consequences as for any other technology that is coming. So it's up to you to know when to embark on it. Maybe not too early. You know, sometimes when we talk about tech, you can have those buzzwords. Today we are talking about AI and so on. And some business owners can just jump in the bandwagon just because of the buzzwords. We believe for company owners, you need to assess your real needs. You need to know your situation and to see to which extent the technology that you want to adopt will be beneficial for you and not just a simple expense.
So which technology do you recommend when you're talking about leveraging tech?
Yes.
Are we talking about AI, ChatGPT as Odoo? Which one now do you recommend for those SMEs that now approach you?
There are many technologies. I think what I referred to already is communication tools like WhatsApp, email, and so on. When it comes to business management, an ERP is critical. Because it is a tool that will bring together all of your departments, so it is really central to your business. And of course, when we talk about ERP today, we can't talk about it without these new, I would say, technologies, which is AI, ChatGPT. For example, in Odoo, you have a ChatGPT embedded. So for example, if you are drafting an email to your supplier or whatever, and you don't know what to write in it, you can just ask ChatGPT, please generate an email that will negotiate for me the cost. And it will give you suggestions, and then you can ask it, oh, please make it shorter. So in a few clicks, you can embed it, send it an email. But we use it in use cases which are even more meaningful. For example, you know that in a company, it is mostly the finance department that has repetitive and sometimes boring job. It is boring because you can do the same operation over and over again. You just encode some information. What we have done is to make this part of the job also very pleasant. So we use AI, for example, to automatically encode vendor bills. If you receive a vendor bill from the electricity company, from your internet company, instead of you manually keying it in, it will take time. You can make some mistake and add an extra zero. You can just send it to your Odoo. It will automatically recognize all of the contents, create it in your account, and all you'll have to do is to validate or not validate. So we are saving time, and sometimes it can take up to 8 hours saved per week, which is almost a day of efficiency. And we are doing it in many other applications. So the idea is we need to use these technologies and these tools only when they make sense, not because they are trendy. And we have found many use cases where we apply this to the benefits of our end users.
We have service providers, several, who are targeting specifically these SMEs. You have banks, SACCOs, microfinance. So where is the gap exactly in terms of SMEs now leveraging technology?
I don't think there is a gap per se. I think the offer is there, the demand is there, and in between it is just awareness.
They're hesitant though. They're hesitant, SMEs.
They're hesitant because they are not aware. And that is why, for example, since this year at Odoo, we are embarking on a journey to, let's say, educate the mass. One of the things we are doing, for example, since January is we are training 100 to 120 people every week up to the end of the year in our office. It's free training. We invite them to come to the office and we pick a topic. How you can streamline your finance using Odoo. How you can streamline your payroll, your recruitment using Odoo. And we do that simply because we know people need these tools, but they are not simply aware that it is affordable, it is user-friendly, and you have people who can champion the journey with you by training you and being by your side.
Yeah, so there's also this fear that tech solutions are designed specifically for these larger corporations. And now how can SMEs now find solutions that are tailored to their needs?
Totally. As a company, we started by addressing exactly the small companies because we were also small. We needed to pick our battles. But then we noticed that small companies are really cost sensitive. They don't have an IT team to manage any tech solution. Usually it will be the owner that is operating the system, so they don't have the time to spend a lot of time to read and so on. So we designed already the tool to be very easy to use and to be affordable. But then we came up with a solution that is working for them, but working also for the big companies. What we are seeing today is that we are doing well on the small markets because this is our core business. But the solutions are also applicable to big companies, which are multinationals or operating in different jurisdictions. So this is how we attack or we approach this, I would say, part of the market by being user-friendly, well-priced, I would say, and even by providing the support because you want to train people to become independent and then to step out so that you can leave them working with the system.
Yeah. Now, who is training Odoo if Odoo is training others now that you say you're also a small company?
Well, when it comes to our tool, we produce it, so we know how to operate it. But as a company, how to be trained, yes, it depends on what you're doing. If you are in HR and so on, so we have people, you will see, for example, that the majority of our team is very young. I think the youngest in the team has 20 or 21 years. The most senior has, I think, 40 years. And people come from all backgrounds. But even on top of that, we provide in-house training on the system, on how to approach a relationship with suppliers, customers. It's ongoing training. So yes, we are organized to make sure that with whichever skill we enter in the company, we keep growing and learning.
So would you say that tech can solve operational inefficiencies now that here on this show we've talked about SMEs losing money daily due to poor record keeping, stock mismanagement, delayed customer responses, which really just an umbrella. Operational inefficiencies are an umbrella for these things.
Totally.
Now, can you say that tech would solve this, or is it just a matter of mindset?
Tech will solve it to a long extent. Obviously, it's not only about tech, it's also about how you operate with tech. But typically, if we talk about the inefficiencies you have mentioned, for example, customer satisfaction. If someone purchases today in Kenya, if you purchase something online, you expect to be delivered, for example, within the day or within the hour. If you are not properly equipped, sometimes it will take you longer. Sometimes you'll just forget about a delivery that the customer is waiting. So we have put in the system all sorts of functionalities to remind you, to make sure that you only take enough stock for you to be able to serve your target base of customer. Not too much stock because it is dormant, so you are paying for it. Not too little, otherwise you'll have you'll be out of stock really soon.
Now that, when we're starting, I said that you're here to, of course, give us practical solutions.
Sure.
Walk us through practical examples now, areas where SMEs can now leverage technology for this tangible growth for their businesses.
Totally. We have, for example, customers in all industries. If we take people in the hospitality sector, usually you have customers who are in front of you. They want to be served with all of the due care. They want to feel that they are welcomed, but they want to also be served really fast, right? What we do is to give the owners tools that can allow you to welcome people in a really short amount of time. Whatever they ask, you can just click in a few minutes and get it sent to the kitchen without talking to people in the kitchen. When it's ready, they want to warn you that it's ready, so come pick it up and go serve. When it's time to pay, you want people to know, okay, this is how I need. On top of that, if I can ask something on the growth of company, you have, for example, companies in the I would say whichever business they have. One of the examples that has really struck me is a customer of mine, which we started working with, for example, 3 years ago, came back to tell us, hey, you know, I've been able to secure a loan, not because of many other things, but because I could show to my banker all of my accounting records and tell them how is my turnover evolving from 1 year to the other. They were very amazed to see that I'm very organized. I keep track of all of my accounting records, and I was able to show it from my phone. So this is the kind of help that we are giving. On top of helping you to work in an efficient way, we also help you to be organized, to be able to discuss with your investors, to convince them because you have clean track records.
And you know, financing is also a very bigger issue for these SMEs. Now,
Yes.
how do you help them address this issue of finances in terms of now digitizing their businesses?
Sure. We offer a different, I would say, price grid to accommodate everyone. For example, you can start with as low as 950 shillings to get access to Odoo and all of the features of Odoo. On top, we offer different payment plans. You can pay on a monthly basis, just like you pay for your electricity bill and so on. If the cash flow is the most sensitive for you, it makes sense to go on a monthly plan. If you want to go for a long-term commitment, you can go for a commitment of up to 5 years of access to Odoo if you wish.
You know, when SMEs think about growth, often they think about expansion, but can growth also come with improving these efficiencies or inefficiencies?
I'm not sure I get the point.
Can growth also come from simply improving efficiencies for SMEs?
I think it comes from there first. Today, what we notice is that many companies have even given up on the plans to grow. They just do business the way they've been doing it for the last 20 years. Sometimes they inherit it from the parents or from whoever. They decide to live with their problems. And where we step in is to tell them business can be different. For example, us internally, we find any sort of bottleneck. Today it can be the recruitment, the next day it can be the internet that is not working and so on. And what we do is to try to fix a problem one at a time. And when you do that, over 2 years or 3 years, you will see that the company you are yesterday is not the same that will be in 3 days. And obviously technology comes in for that, but you can even solve that without technology. I need to be fair. So we help companies, not only by giving them the tools, but sometimes since we do this as a business, we do it day in, day out, we have come up with what we call best practices, things that work when you embark on the digital journey. And we say, okay, now that you have selected the right tool, let us also support you with the knowledge that we have. It's not only the tool, it's also what you can do with the tool and how you do it. So we walk the path with you by training you on things which are tested and tried. We have made mistakes, some customers have made mistakes. So we save you time by going straight to your objective.
Now, address the issue of cybersecurity because, you know, SMEs are more predisposed to cyber attacks.
Yes.
As Odoo, how do you assure them that you are safe? You're not going to get hacked, you're not going to get attacked. Totally. How do you do this for them? Yeah,
it's an important question because, as I said, an ERP is very central to your company. What you can find in an ERP, it can be the salary of the director, it can be salary of the whole staff, your cost and sales, so the margin that you are making. So it's important to make it secure. So by default, we have put security by design in the system. It starts with simple things as simple as when you want to connect to it, you have an OTP to make sure that it is actually you. When you've been connected for a long time, you can see your password voided so that you are forced to type it in again. If you connect to your account from another system, you are warned that, hey, someone is connecting from a different location that is unusual, so please verify and all of that. We have put a lot of technical things in the system to prevent actually, I would say, cybersecurity threats. But you know, today, especially in the region where we are operating, the biggest threats to security is not the tool, because tools have today some of the most, I would say, the highest standards. Today, the biggest threat is the human operator. If you take your Odoo account on your laptop and you leave it, I would say, next door in a cafe or in a kitchen, it is unlocked. I can see whatever you've been working on. I can see the invoice that you are trying to encode. So we provide security in the tool, but we also train people on the best behaviors to safeguard your company's data and so on. And this applies to things beyond ERP. It applies to your phone. If you leave your phone unlocked, anyone can access it for maybe some time. So yes, we are preparing people to make sure that they safeguard the data, but we also put some checks in the system to prevent any unhappy situation.
So how do they measure the ROI, the return on investment?
Sure. First, you start by checking what is the investment that you have done. It's straightforward. If you go on our website, you can see exactly how much you can invest. And then the return on investment will be actually seen from how your business is growing. Usually it can be a little bit difficult for you to do a one-on-one correlation, because if your business is booming, it's because of the tool that you are putting in place, but the product, the marketing that you are doing. But for some companies, we can even help you do exactly the ROI. What you're going to check is, today we are going to assess and quantify the inefficiencies that you have. For example, if you tell us, my accountant spent 4 hours just encoding invoices, and we are going to save you those 4 hours, how much does it cost? 4 hours of your accountant that you are saving. You can really put a price tag on it, and we can help you with that assessment.
All right. Now that we've addressed some of the major issues and how the opportunities that you offer for these SMEs, what are some of the mistakes that you see these SMEs make that you think they should now stop?
There are a lot. I will just touch a few ones. One that I see a lot is a manager, a founder, an owner, or an IT person that wants to start the journey. They are really enthusiastic about what they have seen, because we are offering some really impressive tools. But then they forget to tell about it to the whole staff. So they have decided in their corner because they can take that decision, and then they are pushing it to their team. And then you see in front people who they know the manager has decided, but they don't see the point of installing this, so they are refusing. In spite of the investment that you have done, you have people who are resisting the change. That is one of the biggest, I feel, mistake that people do, because it creates frustration, it delays the project. You are paying already to get access to the tool or the services, but people in your company are not working in the same directions. Some of the other mistakes I see is people who are very excited about the project. They just want to start, but they can't tell you in clear bullet list what exactly they want to solve. They just want to digitize the company, but which inefficiencies do you want to improve on compared to your previous setup? So these two are some of the most important.
Okay, and you know, I want to take you back to when we were talking about AI and ChatGPT. Is AI really advanced for some SMEs, and how can they start small?
AI is advanced as a technology, but the adoption of AI among SMEs, I think it's only at the early beginning, especially in our region. People hear about it a lot, but it's in the early beginning. However, most companies are already using AI in the tools that they traditionally had. If today you connect to your Gmail, you could see, for example, there is a button for you to magnify the email that you are writing, embedded already. So the traditional providers of technology, emails, hosting, whatever, are embedding the AI capabilities in the system. That's what we are doing also. We are providing an ERP, but then we see some application of AI in the world of ERP, so we are embedding it. And I think this will be for the nearest future at least, it will be the main entry of AI into those SMEs. People will not proactively go there on Google and say, okay, I want to use AI. They will be getting it from the tools that they are using already. And I think for the nearest future, that will be the first step.
You said you're offering training, education,
yes.
But have you also traversed the rural areas in this country? Say the Mamambogas who are there in the rural regions, who are not yet very, very well accustomed to using AI or technology. And also, let's talk about these beauty businesses, you know, salons. Are you also taking these trainings to them?
Yes, so two categories. It's true, the BAMBA, you will see them at the corner of the street and so on. It is difficult to equip them with these tools. And today we don't intend to do it at scale. We help those who can be onboarded because as much as it is easy, you require a setup to have at least a decent connection, a smartphone or a tab, and to be able to encode every transaction you're doing there. It's difficult to help everyone to do that. When you go to other categories of companies, you have referred to the beauty salon. For example, we have a vertical application just for beauty salon. So it comes with all of the features you need to book appointments with people, deliver the service, bill it, and even give tax compliant bills if you want. It's a matter now of explaining this to people, and that's why we are doing these free trainings. We have here in Nairobi a lot of companies in that sector that are just doing their business of hair salon using Odoo. And the good thing about it is when you look at it after 1 year of operation, or 1 week or one month, you can really see how many customers you have served. What is the peak time so that you can adjust your staff. For example, during the weekends, I have too many people who show up, and people who want to have a relaxed time and so on will maybe come up on a Tuesday morning and so on. And you can adapt your staff, your prices according to the statistics that the system has given you. So you see, it goes beyond just performing the immediate actions. It gives you business intelligence, business insight for you to adapt how you are doing business.
So if you look 5, maybe 10 years ahead, what's the future of SME in terms of technology adoption?
The future is bright because in many regions, but also here in Kenya, more and more people are educated to the advantages of SME. The government, and it is commendable, and some private operators are really working on investing in the infrastructure. For example, if you travel to some countries around, the internet speed is not as good as you have here in Kenya. I understand we even have Starlink, which is coming, and some things to be fine-tuned. But all of the things are now being put in place to make sure that we have the right ecosystem to be able to onboard the maximum of people in the digital world, beyond the ERP, but overall digital world. So I believe the future is bright, and we are doing our share by educating people. I only told you about the companies that we are educating, but we also have an education program with my colleague who is in the room. We are going to universities. We are trying to teach students and work with teachers on how they can use the kind of tools that we are having when they go in the world of work.
As we wind up this conversation, Patrick, maybe any advice for SMEs and a tech that you think they should now tap into?
Yes. For me, first, you always need to start with your needs. Sometimes you are in the rush of the day-to-day, I would say, priorities. So sometimes it's good to stop and reflect on how is your business doing? How can you scale it up to the next step? And if your reflection journey tells you that you need to embark into the digital journey, then it's good to see, okay, what exactly are you going to solve? We are there to solve with operational needs when you want to solve your bottleneck in terms of stock, in terms of manpower and so on. But it can be other things. Maybe you just need a faster internet connection. In that case, you see our colleagues from the internet providers. But as of our part, we work like doctors. You tell us what you need, what are your challenges and so on, and we can show you how with our products, with our services, we can come in to help you solve that.
So where can we find Odoo?
First thing is online. It's simply odoo.com, and from the website you'll see everything. We are very transparent. From the website you can do 2 things. One is to create an account for free for 15 days and test it yourself. No one will come to bother you. You can test it and let it expire if you want. The second one, if you really want to go further, from the same website, you can book a free meeting with one of our colleagues that will call you to understand what is it you are looking for. It is free. And then if there's nothing we can do, at least it will be good to talk to you. If there's something we can do, then we'll be in a position to advise.
Patrick, this has been an enlightening conversation. Thank you so much for sharing these great insights. That is Patrick Lukusa, Managing Director, Odoo Kenya, talking to us about leveraging technology for SME growth. And that brings us to the end of this conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning, and we'll see you tomorrow, inshallah. My name is Anne Odida. Have a good day.